I'm back to the Winter Wonderland house. I'm trying to stay warm. Today I've got it's kind of a packed day, but late in my mind. Like the things I need to do seem to be a lot. So there's some work I need to do. That's what I've started on. And maybe I should show you. It's a schedule. A schedule. Comment down below if you say if it's schedule or schedule. The colonizer's language. Anyway. So welcome to Vlogmas Day 10. Wow. I'm currently watching Mudhoni Gitao. I just love watching home renovations and the like, and she's doing such an amazing job. They just washed the roof of her Casablanca and the renovations she's had going. If I had such a project and the money to go with it, oh, the things I would do. But let me tell you something about us designers. Personally, it's easier for me to do someone else's project, but when it comes to my own project, I feel like I'll fail at making a decision and deciding, hey, and deciding on what style to do or what should go where. So I think the cleaning part is easy, but now deciding on this is the kind of finish I want and I don't know the kind of styles to incorporate, it's gonna be a problem. But it's always an exciting thing to have a blank canvas to work on. Hello there. I've just finished the work I was doing today. Rather, I finished it for now. And I was going through the books that I've read this year. I don't know if you're a reader. Funny story, I never really used to read a lot of books growing up. I can't tell you I was that book always had a novel or whatnot. I never did. My dad used to encourage us to read, but I never read that much. Aside from school books when it was very necessary. But which year was it? 2018? I think 2018 I set a goal for myself. I was like, just read 10 books. And I read more than that. Then 2019 I set a goal for 52 books. And guess what? I read 52 books. 2020 I barely read anything. The pandemonium going on. Then this year I said, let me set something more achievable for me, because I had lost that mojo for reading. Actually, it's because I read in 2018. I would read during my morning commute going to work, which was like an hour one way, so that was good catch-up time. And over the years since 2018, I've read from different forms of books. So I do physical books, I do digital on my Kindle, and also audiobooks, which in my opinion, if you ask me, is reading a book. And it's like the easiest way. If you get a good reader, like the person reading the book, I think it's one of the easiest way to go through a book. So these here are props. They're not props, but these books are on my to read books that I've had. These two I've had for quite a while. This one I got as a gift. This one I've had for maybe 2 years. These ones are from this year that I'm yet to read, and there are others. I also have a poems book which I'll probably read so that I can be able to to accomplish my goal for this year. I've always wanted to develop that reading habit and just to get myself off too much screen time, social media, TV and everything. So that's why I got into reading, and I've been using the app Goodreads to be able to track the books I've read, how many books I've read, and also to set up my goal for the year, for the year, to yeah, to see my progress and everything. And it also recommends how many books you need to read for that year. If you set like a goal for 30 books, it tells you read this many books per week or per month. And once you start falling behind, it still tells you like read 1.5 books per week to be able to achieve your goal. And it's been really helpful. I had a very nice background setup, but my internet, I'm using data. I'm using data to browse and whatever. So this is my Kindle. I got it off of Amazon. It's one of the really affordable ones, and it does the job. It does the thing. And yeah, so I wanted to go through the books I've read, but I can tell you, like off the top of my head, the ones that have been memorable for me. The first book I can remember reading earlier on in the year is called Dictatorland, and it was quite an interesting book. It was about Africa and those first African leaders after the countries got independence, and how corruption will be the end of it's the real pandemic in Africa, to be honest. And it was quite interesting because those are stories I never really thought of reading about going into. I mean, in our history books we only read about the good things the colonialists did for us, but we never read our own. We only read about the good things in our history. So it was quite it's back on. It was quite interesting to read Dictatorland. I really liked it. I got the book from Textbook Center, and it's a worthy read. And even the way it's written, it's like a story. I like such. So far, the books I've read this year, 25 out of 30 books. So I still have 5 more books to cover this month. Why do I feel like they're not counting a book I'm reading? Yep, 25 out of 30. Let me look at the books I've read this month. Yeah, this is my Kindle. Oh, I actually started with A Promised Land by Barack Obama. So this is Goodreads. You can just check the books I've read. It was an audiobook because I thought the book was so thick, so big. I don't think I would have been able to read through it. And also, after reading Michelle Obama's book as an audiobook, I really enjoyed it because it was also read by her. So it was like she's giving you the story of her life. And I've come to realize I like biographies, especially on audiobooks when they are read by the author. So I've read quite a number of biographies. I've read Melanie Brown, that's Mel B, from Spice Girls, sorry. It's called Brutally Honest. And the funny thing is, she has dyslexia, so she didn't read through her audiobook because dyslexia. So she had someone else read it, but it was still very interesting. The life of these celebrities, there are things you don't know that they're going through until like much later on, or they do the tell it all kind of books. Also, I did The Meaning of Mariah Carey. She has now thawed into December Christmas carols. And it was also a very interesting book. I was like, how did I... Okay, it's not... I've never really followed, musicians, celebrities, artists, lives and everything. So it was... Hello, fire. It was quite interesting reading about their stories and the experience with domestic violence, gaslighting, and mental abuse. I read quite also like self-help books. I did Atomic Habits by James Clear. That was actually very interesting and got me motivated to try new things and try new ways of starting new habits, small atomic sized habits that build up over time and change your life. I also read Samaritans, How to Listen. The really good book. That was also an audiobook. Also one of my favorite books I read this year, My Life in Crime by John Clemente. Imagine, we never read that book in high school or in school, as most people have. And I was like, why have I never read this book? I remember I went to textbook center and I was like, man, I don't want to spend so much money. I don't want to spend so much money. So I was like, let me get these basic books, the ones for high school, because I like a good story. So I did read My Life in Crime. Let me tell you, the first day I read that book, I was going to CBD. I was in the mat, I was reading it. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting, reading about him, the way he'd follow someone in town, see, oh, they've just moved money from the bank, gone here, like for hours trying to like pickpocket or whatever, thief from that person. What is English? I read all this book and my English sometimes just disappears. So I was reading that part of the book, then I reached CBD, got off the mat, I'm in bus station, paranoia, I was so paranoid. My heart was beating and I had to go all the way, I think, to Koja or somewhere near there. I was so paranoid the whole time, my heart was beating. I was like, guy, what if someone is following me? Nitapata tu hapa? Where is my phone? Where is my bag? It was a long day. It was a long day, I remember. But that was also an interesting book. So, yeah. Patient Assassin. The Patient Assassin was let me tell you, I read almost anything. And what I like about Audible, that's the app I use for my audiobooks, you do a subscription, and with that subscription you get 1 credit per month, which is you can use it on any book, on audiobook. But there's also like membership benefits. There's some audiobooks you can get for free, especially now. There's some audiobooks you can just get for free, and it's a good selection. And I always just there, it's like not Russian roulette. Is it Russian roulette? I don't know what that means. But yeah, I just like, which book looks interesting, I pick one, I forget about it, come back to it later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this was actually an interesting book. So one of those was called The Patient Assassin. Let me see if it will open. A True Tale of Massacre, Revenge, and India's Quest for Independence. I didn't even remember the synopsis I had read for the book, but I was like, let me do a new audiobook, The Patient Assassin. It was quite eye-opening. There's so many stories in this world, true stories, tales that we don't know about. Again, history that we are taught in school. It's very whitewashed. Yeah, let me say that. And so this Patient Assassin was about India during the time before independence, and there was this horrible massacre that happened, and it was horrible. And this guy swore that he's going to take revenge on the British governor, who was of Punjab at that time, and he swore that he's going to take revenge for the massacre that happened. So the story is about this guy and how he went through life and found himself in a position to revenge. And they also mentioned he also came to Kenya during that time. They were building the railway line to Uganda. So that was interesting. Let me tell you why I love audiobooks. My latest, the last, okay, not latest. Yeah, it was the newest was by Will Smith. Get the audiobook. Get the audiobook. It is, I've not read the book, but I believe the audiobook is, I want to say 100 times more better. More better, that's not English. Is better because it's also read by Will Smith, which is amazing. And the performance was really nice, and there's music, like during his music career, like when he talks about when we were recording this music, then just bringing the music, and it just opens your, like you can imagine and see clearer having the music playing in the background. Audiobooks, amazing. Yeah, so I guess those are some of the books. If you want, you can follow me on Goodreads. Do I know my Goodreads name? I don't even know how to follow people. I forgot. I tried searching, but I'm on Goodreads. Okay, I'll link it down below once I am able to see it. I hope you enjoyed my little snippet into my life of books. So 2022, I don't know what goal I'm going for. I've not been able to finish 30 books. Do you think I'll be able to do it? 5 more books in 2 weeks while doing Vlogmas and the festivities? Currently, I'm reading 3 books at the same time. Oh man, but I'll be able to do it. I think I'll be able to do it. I just need to set aside a couple of hours and I should be able to do it. I'll try and see, I'll add more to this Vlogmas. If not, I might end it here with a fireside.